This is the biggest issue that photographers have professionally. There is an actual technical term for it. It's called scope creep. But bear with me, if you're making money or want to be making money from photography, this video is for you because it will happen to you too. Now, because I do the sort of one-to-ones and like workshops and things like that, I get to meet a lot of photographers. And this is the biggest pet peeve they have with clients. It's the thing which goes wrong in jobs. And let me explain what scope creep is, because I bet you when you hear it, you'll be like, yes, that's happened to me. And then let me tell you how to stop it, because I don't suffer from it. I have no creep. It starts a little like this. A client comes up to you and goes, we've got 10 products we need photographing. Can you do that in a day? And you look at the type of shot they want and you go, yes, I can do 10 shots in a day. Not a problem. That is within my skill set. Here is the price. Let's just choose £1,000 because it's easy for 10 products. It's £100 a product. It's £1,000 for the day. I'll shoot them and edit them and deliver them in 48 hours. You turn up on the shoot. The client turns up. The products turn up. They look okay. Everything's good. You take the first shot and they go, can we just get a 45 degree and a top down angle of this as well? Suddenly your 10 shots have turned to 30. Now, regardless of whether you could do it all without changing the lights or moving the cameras, which will take time as well, you've just trebled your post-production fee. And this is where all of you go a little bit weak at the knees and go, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, if that's what you want now, let me do that. And that is the wrong way to do it. And this creep comes in many different ways. It come in a number of amendments. It can come in like even before the shoot begins, where they just keep adding stuff on after they've got a price. So let's bring you from the very beginning. This is how we run shoots. This is how it should be done. And if you want more information on this, I have an entire workshop about the business of photography, but this is it. So it starts off with you getting a brief. If somebody says, I want some photos, you need to know what photos, how many of them, and by when. That's an important bit. If they don't know, they're not a client. They're just someone tire kicking. They're looking for the cheapest price, and you're not going to be it. Once you know what they want, you give them an estimate, not a quote, an estimate. Estimates change with the scope of the project. We often send out estimates and we go, look, from the information we have, here is our estimate. Once we have all the details, we'll be able to give you an exact bill. Sometimes we work on an estimate and we bill after the job, knowing that we can't go above the estimates. We might be, look, we estimate it will cost no more than this and we'll tell you what the price is at the end. That is quite common. Once you've got the estimate and the brief, you then do the shoot. If during the shoot, and this is often when it happens, the client goes, can we get 2 other angles of each shot? You go, yes. It's going to treble the length of the shoot. Let me adjust the estimate for you. And if they go, oh, we don't have any more money, I'm like, well, within the scope of what we're doing today, within this budget, we should stick to the plan because we only just have enough time to get this done. If we start doing this, you're only going to get 1/3 of your product list shot. So let's stick with what we originally agreed to and move on. If they refuse, which I don't know why they would, you just go, okay, let me readjust the estimate. I'll send it to you once you've signed it off and given us a new purchase order. We'll be able to do that. It's as simple as that. It doesn't have to be a big palaver. It doesn't have to be a nightmare. And sometimes, do you know what? They ask for something else and it's no bother. Sometimes they say, can you do this? And I'm like, yeah, we got time for that. No, not a problem. We can whack up a camera above and do a top down and a 45 degree at the same time, firing them both at once. That's easily done. No bother. The retouching is a little bit more. Let me give you an estimate just for the extra retouching. It won't be much. Or sometimes if the retouching is really not much, we'll just do it for them if they're already spending a lot. So the idea here is to manage the client. If it's going wrong, it's not the client's fault, it's your fault. And that's really important to remember. If a shoot goes wrong because you had a nightmare client, it's your fault. You didn't manage the client properly, you didn't manage their expectations properly, and you didn't manage the shoot properly. A big part of being a photographer is being a project manager. And coincidentally, the last ever real job I had was as a project manager. It is a very useful skill set to have. And being able to say, look, we're going to do this like this, and this is how it happens. And if they start faffing around, taking ages deciding what they want, just go, look, we need to sign this shot off now because we're going to run out of time very soon. And if we do that, it's either going to cost this much more to get the whole shoot done, or you're going to lose one shot from your shot list. How would you like to continue? If they have a big creative idea midway, go, yes, no problem. Let me quickly work out an estimate for that. And 9 times out of 10, they go, yeah, the idea is not that good. Let's not spend an extra 30 grand pursuing an idea. Sometimes they go, yes, I think that's worth doing. But generally speaking, people have ideas and they don't really think of the consequences, the cost implications and the time implications. And as the photographer on set, it's your job. Unless you have an agent or a producer, then it's their job. But for most of us, you'll just be working by yourselves and it's your job to manage the client. Do not allow project creep to ruin your career. The amount of photographers I meet who are like, oh, I'm doing all this editing and I'm not even being paid for it. It's like, well, don't. Don't agree to it. You do not have to agree to anything. Let me know in the comments below what else you'd like to know about from the business side of stuff, what you're struggling with, and I'll do my best to help you out. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.